I bring warm greeting from the office of the Naga Student Federations. At the same time, I welcome each and everyone to this Naga Student Federation felicitation program, Naga toppers in HSLC and HSLC 2024. Before coming to my presidential speech, I would like to take a small time to acknowledge our guests and our dignitaries who are with us. So first our special guest, Dr. Ketra Yome. Ili Tolino Chishi, our catechist, Dominic, Ili Santi, Ikea Yato, Pastor Sumi Baptist Church, Colima, Senior Leader of Naga Student Federation. I request our senior to please stand on the feet to receive a small token of our guests. Do not be afraid to take risks and step out of your comfort zone. It marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, filled with new opportunity and challenges. Embrace this challenge as opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. Each obstacle you overcome will shape you into a more capable and resilient individual. Nevertheless, the journey ahead is not just an academic achievement or your personal success. It is about collective upliftment of our community. As a student, you are the architect of our future. Each one of you hold within your hand the key of shaping a brighter tomorrow for our Naga society. Each one of you carry the potential to make a significant impact, not only through your study, but also through your action and your choice. We place our high hope on you. It is your responsibility to uphold the value that define us as Naga, resilient unity and commitment to progress. As a student, you are not merely recipient of knowledge, but as stewards of change. Our journey towards unity and glory begins with each one of you. You are the torchbearer of this legacy. The entire Naga community stands behind you, cheering you and believing in your potential to make a difference. Together, we can achieve greatness and leave a lasting legacy of unity and pride for a generation to come. Above all, let us not lose hope, let us not lose our sight on our duty to serve and work tirelessly for a future where the unified aims and glories of Nagas shine brightly for all of us. Once again, congratulations to all our students. May your achievement inspire others to strive for excellence, and may you continue to shine brightly in your endeavor. Thank you. Good night.
I always took regular breaks while studying. I'd read books, I'd go for walks, I would watch movies sometimes, and very occasionally meet friends. But I also forced myself to study regularly, even on days when I felt the laziest. I cut down on a lot of socializing and going out, and on the time that I spent on my phone. I did not exactly leave the social media platforms that I was using and that I used, but I was very conscious about how much time I was spending on my phone and on the internet. No more mindlessly watching an endless number of Instagram reels. I think one thing that really worked for me was planning things ahead and trying to stay organized. Before I started studying any one topic or subject, I would first spend a lot of time researching it. I read toppers' blogs about what they studied and how they studied. I got a hold of a list of the most popular books or resources. I then go through them a little bit. The best thing about the digital age being that most of these are freely available online. And then I would zero in on one of them as my principal resource. And once I'd made a plan, I tried my very best to stick to it. Hard work was a given, but wherever I could, I also tried to work smart. I tried to find the easiest and most efficient ways of getting things done. During the very early days of my prep, I signed up for a few classes, and I had a teacher in one of these classes who told us that along with doing our very best, each one of us should also pray and become a little spiritual if we were not already. He said that in his many years of experience in teaching UPSC aspirants, he had learned that you needed something beyond just hard work. You also needed something of a divine nature. To some, it's luck. For others, it's grace. And I wholeheartedly believe that this is true. It is only and only because of the grace of God that I've been able to succeed in my efforts. My parents have accompanied me today, as they have throughout my exam journey, have been tremendous pillars of support and strength. They've been patient, they've been encouraging, comforting, and most supportive in prayer and in all other ways possible as well. I'd like to conclude with a few words of encouragement for my young friends. I'm sure that this is only the beginning, and that each one of you will continue to work hard and strive towards bigger goals and excellence. In the dark we'll feel the light, warm the hearts, everyone. If we hold on together, I know our dreams will never die. Dreams see us through to forever, as high as souls can fly. The clouds roll by for you. First and foremost, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to my parents for believing in my potential. I would like to express my gratitude to my teachers also for always mentoring and supporting me. And then I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to our Almighty God for always leading the way through the Bible verses. Talking about my journey, I had a very humble dream, I would say, in the beginning. Because during the first months of the year, it was like March, April something, my vice principal, she asked me, what goal do you have for yourself? That time, I very humbly replied to her, ma'am, I want to secure, at least I want to get into the top 10. So at that moment, she told me, aim for the stars, aim for the moon. If you miss, hit the stars. So at that moment I thought that, oh, I should change my process. And then, why not aim for top 1? And then, if I miss it, maybe I can get it into top 10. But then luckily, I got into top 1, so I'm very happy because of it. And secondly, I have nothing interesting to tell about myself, but then I would just like to share a very weird habit of mine. I like counting things, like counting as in fans or chairs, benches, etc. So even in my school, I used to count, in my auditorium, I used to count all the boxes that is like up there. And then I used to count the chairs. So as I was sitting here, I was counting the benches over here. Then I realized that in the middle row there are 9 rows, I guess, and then here 5. So approximately it was 152. But then I realized that after each step there are like one extra. So it came out 170 plus. And then I don't know how many benches are there in the middle row, so it's around 170 plus. So that's a very weird hobby of mine. Now, to all my fellow mates present here, I want to say, dream big, work hard, and stay determined. The road to success is often very challenging, but every obstacle is an opportunity to learn. In closing, Agatha Christie once said, I like living. I have sometimes been wildly, despairingly, acutely miserable, racked with sorrows. But through it all, I still know quite certainly that just to be alive is a grand thing. Let us all remember the gift of life. Use our education to make a difference in our society. Thank you so much.
Sindila Wall, K. Gomer, our higher secondary school. Next, rank 13 also, the Vineyard Koima. Rank 14, Nipriu, top 14. Next, top 16, Hano, Kerry, the Vineyard. Next, top 16, higher secondary school, Dimapur. Higher secondary school, Dimapur. School Koima. Holy Angel School, Kinsa. Mosono, Satsu. The Vineyard.
Success, we all know, does not come easily, and for those who are successful, you have what we call an immunity different from the others. Your chances of going right is much more higher than the others. Like what makes you different is your exemplariness. Like the cohort of 2024 represented by Ms. Machilo Yangtan. She spoke about her peculiarness in herself, about observance, about observing figures, observing numbers. Likewise, all of you, you have something which makes you different from the others. And one must remember, you are all in diverse position, you are all aspiring to be somebody. The great architect, Thomas Kuhn says, even a brick wants to be something. Even a lifeless object, a brick wants to be something. We as human beings, thinking is the limit. So all of you will have your own aspirations. All of you will hopefully become, you will occupy professionals, you will become technocrats, you will become bureaucrats, some of you will become politicians, some of you will move into the artistic world, some of you will contribute, and many of you should contribute greatly to the world. And therefore, what is important today is the roads are open for you, many things are there for you, you are aware of many things which are happening around the world. During our times it's a different time, but you also must remember that what makes you happy is your talent, and you should choose your talent accordingly to what you like to do. So I'm sure I need not tell you that, but you are already on a road where you had already decided what wants to become of you. About 124 years ago, the British came to Kohima, and with that our civilization started vis-a-vis modern educational system. This year marks the first year, the centennial year of our first Naga graduate. We lived in jungles, one can say, on mountain tops. I will have differences with the NSF here, because today they are talking about indigenous rights. But after the British came, 85 years later, the state government was given to us, and we started as one of the first smallest states. And today we look around, a state which was born much later than us. Let us call it Manipur. They are doing very well in all walks of life. They have a Central Sports University. They have 2 colleges doing specialization in medical sciences. They have engineering. So also, like Arunachal. Today we look at ourselves and we look at our credibility. We were one of the first small states, and what has become of us? We know our political situation is also one thing. Also the diversity of our people. We all belong to different tribes, and I know that at one point of time we do not know each other, so there may be misunderstanding between ourselves, but today we must appreciate diversity. So we all want to outshine each other, although we are what we call a very small people. We fear small numbers. We are a minority in India. It is important for us to be cohesively together, and today's leadership has done what they could. They have brought us till today. And as I said, tomorrow the leadership of leading our people will be upon you. So I must say, I'm greatly honored to be standing in front of leaders who will build our society in all walks of life. The challenges upon you are huge. As I said, with NSF, about 85 years ago when our state was formed, we were living in jungle mountain tops, and mostly from all over India, we call it Zamars, we call it Kepimias. They came here as our teachers, they took care of our administration, they taught us how to be, or how we should be standing on our feet. Today, we are fortunate that it is they who brought education, who brought what we are today to them. So we also must acknowledge that it is not like we are able to stand on our feet completely today, but what matters today is confidence. Where we are unable to, we need to acknowledge, or we need to use others. Where we are standing on our feet, I want all of you, by the end of the day, how much you have achieved in terms of percentage may, or not to disappoint you, countless. But your experience, your confidence will now be the new path to define who you are. So with that, I also want to mention the status of the fortunate and the unfortunate. As people invested in education, we are happy that this year marks the 50th Golden Jubilee of the Nagaland Board of School Education. It was enacted as an act of Nagaland State, not like other boards in India. We all know that we have come a long way. Earlier we used to be through Kolkata, West Bengal, but 50 years we have produced so many leaders amongst our community. And today, this year also marks the Golden Jubilee of the NBSC. So I know all of you now will go to different parts of India, different parts of the world. You all represent a home in the first place. You all represent a school in the first place. It does not matter which school you come from now, henceforth. You all represent the Nagaland Board of School Education. So we know that as a small society, we are all trying to outshine each other. We are all trying to be doing better than each other. And I've also noticed that a lot because there are competition amongst our schools, because results is what brings us a certain grade. We also know that we have a system in place where we look after the government schools as well as the private schools. Nagaland today is represented by 1,939 schools, government schools, and above 700 private entities. So today we realize that all our parents are invested in education. This will continue for another 100 years. During our times, it was just the three simple read, write, and reading. Today, we know that your horizons are huge. You need to know emotional literacy, financial literacy. In our times, all those facilities were not available. So, with your vast open field open to you, we hope that you will all come back. We know that only education can set us free.